three places that we use analytics. One is in terms of customer acquisition, and the way we use analytics in customer acquisition is really figuring out which channels work for us, which are the channels and media which give us the most number of new customers. So for example, if you're using Facebook, if you're using Google SEM SEO, if you're using digital ad campaigns, we would actually track conversions by channel. You would look at which customers are coming from which channel, what kind of price are we paying for each new customer, what is the eventual retention of each customer coming from that particular channel. And this data would really allow us to figure out which is the best channel for us and allow us to therefore optimize our marketing mix by channel. So that is one thing we do. We do the same thing for even for ATL. So for example, one of the things that we did recently was to use data coming from our TV advertising. So we know what time our TV ads were getting released on which channel, and we would actually track customer visits and customer to the site and to the app and conversions for that time. So we took an interval of about plus minus 3 seconds after an ad was released to check what happened to customer visits and what happened to customer conversions. And we realized that we could actually correlate which channels and which insertions were working well for us. So over a period of time now we know which particular channel gives us better conversions, which particular channel, what time of day actually works very well for us, which bouquet of channels works better for us. And as a result, we have actually been able to harmonize our entire marketing campaign even on TV, where we've been able to reduce cost by about 30-40% and still get the same amount of visits and the same amount of conversion. So that's one place that we use in terms of optimizing marketing mix. The other place where we use analytics very strongly is in terms of life cycle management for customers. It is really looking at customers and seeing who are our loyal customers, how do they behave, who are the new customers, how do they behave, who are the customers in between who are trending to become loyal, what is their behavior. And what we do is we learn from this in terms of what they buy, what kind of items they buy, what kind of order values that they buy, how often do they visit, what pages do they visit. And we use this data to really make sure that our offering to them is very customized. So for example, one of the things that we realize that for trial customers, what works best is to show them offers, because they get more confidence, they know that they can actually get great offers, that they're getting a great price. So for all new customers, people who are placing the first, second or third order, the site would actually show more offers than it would for regular customers. For regular customers, the site actually customizes itself to show them more categories, to show them a wider range, and therefore they actually start buying a wider basket. So the idea is really to tune your offering based on what stage the customer is in his life cycle with Big Basket. So one of the biggest USPs that online grocery really offers customers is getting convenience, which is really, can I get my order delivered at home? I don't need to spend time. I don't need to go to a store and spend hours in the aisle. So one of the things that we are trying to do is to make sure that this convenience transcends to even their shopping online. So one thing we are trying to create is the fastest possible shopping experience on site. So our goal is to get regular customers to check out in 2 to 3 minutes. Today they take 18 to 20 minutes. So how do we do that? We are building what we call a smart basket. A smart basket is a device, a program which really for any existing customers, a customer who's placed about 10 orders or so, really starts recommending to the customer what they should be ordering. It looks at the past order history of the customer, predicts what the customer needs at that point in time, and actually creates a list, a basket of products that the customer should be buying. And it does this by looking at standard deviation, looks at interval of ordering, looks at what categories they buy, and it also makes intelligent recommendations. So it does not necessarily assume that you're going to buy only what you bought before, but it actually calculates and looks at, for example, you bought, let's say, rice 3 days back, and your normal ordering frequency for rice is once in a month, and if you come today, it is not going to recommend rice to you. It will pick a product which you buy at an interval of 3 days, which could be, let's say, fruits and vegetables. So therefore, the smart basket is intelligent enough to calculate and compute a customer's basket every time a customer logs in, based on past history of the customer, based on how similar sets of customers buy, and based on what the customer is potentially likely to buy, based on how similar customer sets behave. So therefore, the idea is really, if a customer uses the smart basket, they should be able to pick 80% of the items that they regularly buy, or 90% of the items that they regularly buy in about a couple of minutes, and get done with their entire grocery shopping. So this makes it extremely convenient for customers. We believe if customers use this, they'll really get hooked on to online grocery buying, and it will make it much simpler and easier for them. The other place that we really use analytics is to figure out what UI and UX to present to a customer. So we look at data of how customers navigate the site, how customers use the app, and figure out how much time are they spending there, are they finding difficulty in finding something on the site, are they getting enough information, are they spending a lot of time finding a particular set of category of products. So we design the site around what we think is the best way a customer navigates. So one of the first things that customers see now is the fact that we offer a no questions asked return guarantee, and this reassures new customers. So the idea is really to bring messages and navigation which is customized to a particular set of customers. And for this we use analytics and data to looking at how customers are behaving to deliver this. I think there are two big challenges. One is the sheer volume of it, and I think a lot of time marketers get lost in the details because you're generating data. If you're an online business, you're generating data on every transaction, generating data, you're generating a click stream every time a customer visits, so you know how the customer is navigating the site, how much time does he spend, how much time, what items he adds to the basket, what he deletes, whether he applies a coupon, does not apply a coupon, what does he do after applying a coupon, what payment instrument does he use. So the amount of data that you collect is voluminous, and figuring out therefore as a marketer what your priorities are, what data you want to use, and how to use it intelligently itself is a key task. And so one of the things that we have done is we have really identified what we think are customer facing priorities, and the top 3 priorities that we think are important to a customer, which is really saying how do we expand, how do we make sure that a customer has a great experience on site, number 1. Number 2, how do we expand the range of offering that a customer buys from. Number 3, how do we ensure that a customer buys from almost all the categories that we sell, that a typical customer should buy. And we are using these priorities to really define what data we want to work with, and how do we present the data, and how do we use the data. So that is one challenge, the sheer volume of the data. The other challenge that comes with analytics today and with online business is that customers interact with you in multiple formats and forms. So they'll tweet about you, they may post a post on Facebook, they will send an email, they may call your customer service, they'll navigate on the site, they will do an order, they'll give feedback to the delivery guy. So getting a 360-degree view of a customer is very difficult. How do you build a 360-degree view? How do we know and integrate all the channels of communication and all the feedback channels that a customer typically uses? So in our case, we have actually integrated our entire social media channels, all our email marketing channels, all our on-site clickstream, all the transaction history of a customer into a single view. And that really tells you, so therefore I'm able to look at a customer's view and say, okay, this customer wrote this about us on Facebook, tweeted this about a particular offer, visited the site 3 times, has placed 5 orders in the last 1 month, this is the items that he's bought, this is the amount of time that is spent on the site. So this data really gives you a very holistic view of a customer and allows you, and when you see this in aggregate, allows you to trace customer patterns and make intelligent marketing decisions based on that. One of the first things we did was to build a dedicated team to address this. So we have therefore a team which addresses all social media responses across all the different channels and handles only that. So they have expertise in that. They know that they are supposed to respond in a particular tone of voice. They know what kind of response that they are supposed to give. Secondly, we have APIs integrated into all the channels, so we get all the responses into one single customer service channel where all the customer service reps are able to see it and respond to it. So this team is therefore able to respond in real time. Thirdly, we have set very strong KPIs saying, a Facebook post, for example, has to be answered in 3 minutes. A tweet has to be answered in 5 minutes. Any comment on the Play Store, for example, has to be answered in 30 minutes. And we monitor this. So we look at how many posts got answered within that time, how many posts got repeated. We also monitor saying how many interactions did it take to resolve a particular complaint. Ideally, the idea is that you should resolve everything in one interaction. So if you have multiple interactions happening, that means the customer service forum is not working well, people are not able to respond well. We use that experience to go into a database to figure out how to build better responses and how to give better service to customers. So therefore, what we are doing is really using each of this, integrating all this customer service channels into one single view and using a dedicated team to address this and making sure that we have very strong KPIs to have timely response to customers. We've also built a mechanism in our app itself called a communication hub. So this is like a tweet in real time. You can actually post a message there itself, customer service rep, and gets answered instantaneously. So you don't necessarily need to go to Twitter, write a tweet and send it out. So we are trying to make sure that instead of going to a social media channel separately, they can actually tweet from the app itself if they have a problem and get an instantaneous response. Online grocery is fast becoming a mainstream retail channel. and you'll find that at least 2 to 3 large, maybe multi-billion-dollar online grocery companies in the country in the next 4 to 5 years, hoping, and I'm sure that BigBasket will be one of them. I also believe that the largest online grocery companies will be as large as the physical retailers in grocery that we have today. So in that sense, and that's happening rapidly because one, customers are adopting this as a mainstream channel. We are already seeing that our market shares are as high as physical grocery retailers in the top metros, and I think that trend will actually take even stronger foot over the next few years.